Awesome. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to chapel. My name is Stephen Spencer. I'm studying and teaching the Bible this semester, and I was asked to give my story presentation. Now, this story comes from a long, long time ago, and it's a story about how God sets things right. Now, this story is about a man named Judah. Good evening. Now, that was Judah. Judah had 11 brothers. He was one of the sons of Israel. Now, due to some run-ins with a well and some of his brothers, Judah moved away from his family to the land of Canaan. Now, in Canaan, he met a man named Hira, who was an Abdullamite. What do you all know about Abdullamites? Anybody? Throw it out. Nothing, of course. Well, all you need to know about Abdullamites is that they're not Israelites. And in the Old Testament, that's all that counts. So, Judah, while in Canaan, went and got himself a wife and had 3 kids. Onan, and Shelah. Now, when got to be, just about that age where you're looking to settle down and start a nice family, Judah went off to find him a wife. He was traveling through Canaan, and he came across this girl working out in the field. "Greetings, girl," he said to the girl. "What's your name?" "My name is Tamar." Her name was Tamar. "Would you like to come and to marry my son and to get great wealth?" "Okay." So, Tamar went with Judah back to his house and married Now, was not a nice guy. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. Now, I'm not quite sure what that was, but to give you a little bit of perspective, Judah was apparently okay, and him and his brothers weren't the nicest of guys. You guys all heard what happened at Shechem, right? Yeah, about 300 circumcisions and then about 300 murders, and I won't even go into which was worse. So, did evil in God's sight and was smitten, dead, gone by This leaves Tamar all alone without any children. Fortunately for her, they had something back then called a levirate marriage. Now, a levirate marriage was when one son didn't produce any offspring and died. The next son in line, Onan, would then take Tamar to be his wife and would give her offspring. Now, Onan was a crafty fellow, and he knew better than this, because if Tamar had a son, she would get all of the inheritance and he would get nothing. So, that's right, very bad. Onan didn't quite fulfill his brotherly duties and was smitten, dead, by no more Onan. So this leaves Tamar all alone and barren. And this leaves Judah completely terrified because he's only got one son left and this girl's already killed 2. So Judah said to Tamar, he says, "Tamar, go back to your father's house. And when Selah comes of age, I will give him to you." Okay. So, Tamar went back to her family. Years passed, and Shelah, is of age. He is a very striking, tall young man, very handsome, probably buff. And Tamar sees him walking by, not married to her. Now, this is not a good thing for Tamar. Judah promised that she would have a son by him so that she could have the inheritance. Will God not set things right? Well, Tamar decided to take matters into her own hands. Now, back in that day, they had a little thing called sheep shearing. You could also call it Mardi Gras nowadays. But during sheep shearing, Judah and his friend Hira went up to Tamar to shear the sheep and to party with the money that they made. And so Tamar took this opportunity and she wrapped herself up and dressed herself up all nice and went and waited by the road. And waited. And here comes Judah coming down the road. And Judah sees this hot little thing on the side of the road, just standing there. So he's like, "Hey." Very indecent proposal, by the way. We won't even get into it. "How much?" And she said, "Well, how much you got?" Now, Judah's obviously intrigued. He's like, "How about a baby goat?" "You don't have a baby goat with you. What are you talking about? You got one in your wallet?" No. see, I will bring it to you later. I don't trust you. You leave me your signet ring, the cord attached to it, and your walking stick. This is the modern day equivalent of your credit card, your driver's license, and the key to your front door. He's not very smart sometimes. Okay, whatever you say. And so he gives these things to her, and they go do their thing, and then they part ways. Tamar goes back to her home. Judah sends, along with his friend Hira, this baby goat. And they get to the spot, and there's nothing. And he said, hey, wasn't there a girl here? And everybody's like, no, there were never any girls that were here. And they have a saying back then that says, never ask about a temple prostitute. Good advice, by the way. So, they didn't ask. Judah forgot about this whole thing. 3 months later, word comes to Judah. Judah, your daughter-in-law is pregnant by harlotry. Judah, being the very calm, level-headed guy he was, said, bring her out and burn her. Now, this was kind of a double standard, seeing as Judah was just as guilty of prostitution as Tamar was, but we won't even get into that either. So, Tamar comes before Judah. Things are not looking good. She doesn't have any sons. She doesn't have a chance because she's about to get burned. She pulls out her one trump card. She says, the man who did this belongs to these. And she produced the signet ring, the cord, and the walking stick. Judah was instantly shamed. Finally, he decided to do the right thing and took Tamar into his house. 6 months later, she had twins. Her oldest son, Perez, actually was in the direct line of Christ. So even when things look their darkest, God still sets things right.